Very good morning, students. Today, in this class, we are going to learn a story, a drama from Unit 3 Prose. The title of the drama is Old Man River by Dorothy Deming. You can see a picture in this slide. You can witness a flood scene. It is one of the natural disaster. The flood may cause damages in and around us, and we have to do some precautions to safeguard us from these natural disasters. There are some health hazards causes when water stagnates around us because of flood. There will be power shutdown for long hours during flood, and we may find it difficult to get even food. This drama was written by Dorothy Deming. The Old Man River drama was written by Dorothy Deming. She was an American nurse and children's writer. She got BA in Wales University, graduate of New York City's Presbyterian Hospital School of Nursing, studied at Henry Street Visiting Nurse Association, and she has written at least 20 novels. There are some important characters in the story. The drama divided into two scenes. In today's session, we are going to see the first scene alone. There are two scenes. We are going to see scene 1 today. The important characters in the story are Amy Marshall, 17-year-old girl, Betty Marshall, her younger sister, Rosefield, Marshall's neighbor, Amy Marshall's friend, she is 16 years old. Sarah Field, a 9-year-old young girl, she was a sister of Rose's sister. Jim Hall, 17-year-old boy and another neighbor of Amy Marshall. Mr. Peters, one of the member of Red Cross. Penny Marsh, she was Red Cross nurse. Only these characters are in the drama. The story revolves around these characters. Let us move on to the text. The story starts in the late afternoon in March. It was March. After the afternoon, the story is starting. The Marshall family, the young girls, were residing in the living room. At rise, Amy, Betty, and Rose are sitting around the living room table. Amy and Rose are knitting. Knitting means stitching a cloth with the help of hand. Betty is looking at pictures in a magazine. The stage is not very bright. As it is drama, they are enacting the drama, so the stage is not that much bright because they are going to witness a very good rain on that afternoon. Goodness, it gets dark early on these rainy days. Mind if I raise the shade a bit, Amy? Here we can see three girls are sitting in the living room. Amy and Rose are knitting. Betty is looking the pictures, and Rose is telling that it is getting dark because it is raining. No, do, but I guess we need the light on too. She goes over and puts on the electric light. They are moving to put the light. Amy is moving to put the light. Rose going to the window. How it rains in sheets, and look, your backyard is a small lake. Already Marshall's house is surrounded with water. The house seems to be like a lake. Amy, gracious, I have never seen it rain so hard, and this is the third day of it. They are witnessing the rain continuously for third day. Betty, it's more than a lake, it's a sea. The radio said the river was above flood stage this morning, whatever that means. She's telling it's not like a lake, it seems to be like a sea. And the radio also announces that they are going to witness a heavy rain and the river overflows and the flood will damage the whole city by today. It means that the water is above that white line on the bank of Thompson Bridge. In every dam, they mark the level of the water in the dam, and they also mark which is the dangerous one. So, Amy is asking whether the water in the dam is in the damaged dangerous level. So she is asking the bank at Thompson Bridge, it seems to be in the dangerous level. It must have covered the South Meadows and the highway there. And she is telling that the water may cover the South Meadows and the highway. It may also affect the highway. It isn't only the rain, it's the snow melting in the hills in the northern part of the state. She's telling that it is not because only the rain, it is also because of the snow melting. Oh, I hope we don't have a flood here. They are not expecting the flood around that place. There is a noise of stamping feet and someone breathing hard. Stamping, someone is walking very heavily in that they are hearing the noise of the footsteps. The girls all look at the right, the direction of the sounds. Jim Hall. He's entering the room, right in shining wet raincoat and rain helmet, which he drags off as he enters. He is panting. He's almost in wet clothes. He's entering the room. Gosh, girls, it's a cloud burst. It kicks off his shoes. I have run every step of the way from school to get here. The river is rising fast. The Bernard Dam gave way an hour ago, they say, and it looks bad. Where is your mother, Amy? Jim Hall is coming with the bad news. The river is overflowing and the Bernard Dam is going to overflow within a hour. It's a very bad news, and she's asking to Amy, where was his mother? The cloudburst, the word cloudburst means sudden violent rainstorm. Amy, she took Dick to the dentist and was going to stop at Mrs. Brand's for a recipe on her way home. She ought to be here soon. Amy is replying to Jim as her mother took Dick to the dentist. On her way, she returned back to Mrs. Brand's house to get a recipe, and she will be at home very soon. And Jim is asking, what about your father? Amy, in Chicago on business, but why all the questions, Jim? Amy is giving reply as well as she is asking why he is asking such questions to him. Well, yeah, you. He is interrupted by the ring of the telephone. Amy exists left to answer it. Her voice can be heard clearly. Jim is not able to give any reply because he knows the situation around him. He can understand the worst situation around him, so he don't want to panic the girls inside the home, so he stopped over there. And at that time they hear the telephone ring, and at that time Amy X is left to answer the telephone call. Amy, hello, yes mother, I know, is not it awful? How will you get home? Yes mother, I am listening carefully. Amy's voice grows very serious. Yes, I will. No mother, no. I won't. Jim Hall is here and Rosefield too. Yes, all right. I'll tell them goodbye. Amy returns to the room and she's looking very scared. Amy is giving only reply to her mother. She is telling, yeah, we are very careful. We are listening very carefully. And Jim Hall is there and Rosefield is there. So goodbye. You return home very safely. And Amy returns to the living room by scaring face. Mother can't get home from Miss Brand's. The bridges between here and town had already underwater. Rose's mother says you are to telephone your mother right away and tell her you will spend the night here. Now Amy is informing to the girls that already the bridges were under the water, and she informed Rose to call her mother as they are very safe in Amy Marshall's house. I will. That will be fun. Hurries from the home. Rose is informing that's fun. I'll inform them. Betty, you and I are to fill all the bowls, tubs, pails and pitchers with fresh water in case the town supply is cut off and made unsafe to drink. Mother says she hopes you will stay and help us, Jim. Amy is asking help from Jim that she want to uh, fetch water and fill all the bowls, tubs and pails and pitcher. Pitcher you can see in the picture a large jug. They want to fill water because in case the water around the city are damaged because of the flood, they won't get good water to drink. So she's requesting the help from Jim to fetch water. Jim, that's why I came. Amy, I think I will look up the lantern and they are now looking for the lantern. Lantern you can see in the small picture, a small lamp with a transparent case protecting the flame or electric bulb and typically with the handle by which it may be carried or hung. So you can see the picture of lantern and picture. So here Jim came to help Amy Marshall. Betty interrupting. I have got a flashlight. I will get it and some candles. Betty is giving promise to get flashlight and candles. Rose. From outside, still at the telephone with the invitation. Central. I am trying to get Main 3022. I can't. She want to call 3022, an emergency number to get help. There's a pass and Rose come to the door. Her face frightened. The telephone is dead. I can't get Central. There isn't even a buzzing on the line. Rose is telling that she want to call Central. The number is 3022, but she can't connect. The line is dead. Even they don't get the buzzing sound there. They are collecting all the light. You can see in the picture, flashlight, batteries, candles, lantern. And here Rose is calling to Central. Jim, means the lines are down between here and town. Jim is informing that the lines may under the water. Well, girls, let get organized. We have to organize ourselves. This is the time to organizing ourselves. Don't think about the past. Betty, look up your flashlight and candles, lamp, lanterns, or anything you are got, whatever it may be, to get it light. So get it ready with those things. Rose, you fill the tubs, pails. Amy, I will check on food, blankets and coats. So Jim is giving order to each and everyone. Betty to collect the lights, Rose to collect water, Amy to get the food, blankets and coats. Better get out the first aid kit also. Everyone make it snappy. Everyone is very serious and they are getting, this is serious. Amy, I don't want to scare you, but your house is in the direct line of the river. Jim is informing that Amy's house is very close to the river, so it may affect very fast. He is not threatening, he is giving an alarm. If the dam was given way, well, if it has, you can see for yourself that it means we can't get out by the main road and we are already cut off from the south side. Look, he points out the window. Amy joins him. She gasps. He's showing the way. It's impossible to get away from the home. The only way, they have to stay safely inside the house. So he's showing the way. The main road is already filled with water. The only way is south side. Gasp means catch one's breath with an open mouth, owing to pain or astonishment. Out of shock, she is opening her mouth. Jim, the water is up around the garage. I thought it was just a pool in the garden, but it's. Amy is calling Jim. The water is up around the garage. Garage, the place around the house. I thought it was just a pool in the garden, but it's. Jim, the river. Yes, that's Old Man River. The title of the lesson. You can see the title of the lesson here. The Old Man River himself creeping up to a door. Jim is telling to Amy that the water is coming very closely to the doors. Jim and Amy watch in a moment. Amy shudders. Shudders means shivering. Oh, Jim, I'm scared. You can see the pictures how water is gushing into the city. Jim, placing a hand on her shoulder. Steady, old pal. We have been through bad things before and come out safely. Remember the school far? First thing, we must not let the others see how scared we are. We should not show our affright to others, and we should not create frighten in others also. Next, get all the things you can together here. Get all your things. First, we should not be afraid. Second, we have to collect all the things. I'm glad I served on the Junior Red Cross emergency squad during the war. Jim is telling that he had experience in working in with Junior Red Cross during the war time. It's too bad you live in a bungalow instead of a two-story house. Really, we are happy to live in a two-story house, but we can always climb into the attic and onto the roof. Attic is a place we have the old things. So you can see here what are the things they are collecting. They are collecting the food items, blankets, coats, lights, and they also had the first aid box here. Still staring out the window, how fast is the river racing? Do you think, Jim? Amy is showing the river to Jim. How it is racing very fast. Jim is replying to Amy. I don't know, and it might stop before it reaches us. If only the rain would let up. We will signal for help from the roof. They will send a boat or something. The only thing we can do, we can climb onto the roof and we may seek help from the roof. Rose, entering to their left. I have got enough fresh water to last us a week. Who will send us boat for us? Jim. And from where? Horace looked at the river. She goes to the window and screams, Horrors. Rose is asking a simple question, a realistic question. I have fetched water, good water for a week. And who will send us water? And how will we save from here? Really, it is very horrifying to see the river. Hush, Rose, don't tell the others. Jim says we will be alright. Don't be worried. Jim informed that we will be alright. Let's see what food we have on hand. Let us see for the food what we have for the next time. Betty entering. Here are lights. Did you say food? Hark. What's that? Hark means listen. Pay attention to me. What's that? All four stand perfectly still listening. From far off the child's voice is heard. They are talking about the things to safeguard. At that time they can hear a child's voice from outside. Sarah, a 9-year-old girl. She is the sister of Rosefield, 16-year-old Rosefield sister, 9-year-old Sarah. Rose, it's me, Sarah. Rose is Sarah, where is she? All turn on the window. There she is on the playhouse porch. How did she get there? Porch is nothing but a veranda. She is playing in the veranda. Followed me here probably. She loves that playhouse. The little monkey. She climbed down to that porch to play there. Jim goes out calling, stay where you are. Sarah, I'll get you. So Jim is informing that you can stay there and he will come and pick her. It's lucky the playhouse is on the high ground. It was a lucky thing the playhouse is in a higher area. Rose, but it's not. Look, it's nearly afloat. There goes Jim. Look, the water is above his knees. They are watching. The water is above the knee level. Amy, he will need dry clothes. See if you can find some of Dad's things for Jim. Betty, Sarah can have Dick's. So they are thinking they are in the water, so they need the dry clothes immediately. So they are finding Dad's clothes for Jim and Dick's clothes for Sarah. There, he's got her. I will make some hot cocoa for everyone. Amy is informing that she will prepare some cocoa. There is a thumping and voices. At the right hand, Jim enters carrying Sarah, pick a bag. You can see Jim is carrying Sarah at his back. Sarah is beaming. Pick a bag means piggy back right on the back and the shoulders of other person. Here you can see Amy is collecting things for Jim and Sarah. Hello everybody. That was fun. Write some more please, Jim. Sarah was very happy by have a piggyback ride, so she want to move some more place. No, young lady, that's enough. You are heavy. She's dry as a bone. And he's telling she's very dry as a bone. Very hard to carry. I'm not. You can have some of dad's thing. I'm going to get you some supper. Amy is giving dad's clothes to Jim and she will inform that she want to prepare some food. As she says this, the lights go out. They all gasp and Betty screams. The current went off. Now Betty screamed out of fear. Jim, Powerhouse must be out of commission. Light your candles, Betty. And she's instructing Betty to lit his candles. Switches on the flashlight, lights 3 candles. I'm glad we have an oil stove for cooking. Amy was happy to have a oil stove. Rose, taking a candle, forward march to the kitchen. Betty takes a candle and follows with Sarah trailing. All exit right, humping tramp, tramp, tramp. The boys are marching. You can see the oil stove in the picture and some candles. In a low voice to Amy, the river was up another foot. Amy, another hour, and that playhouse would have been floating out in the current. At this rate, the floor here will be underwater by morning. Jim is informing that within an hour, the porch where Sarah was playing will be submerged underwater, and before morning, the house also will be submerged with water. What will we do then, Jim? Neither Sarah nor Betty is a strong swimmer. So Amy is telling that Jim and Amy can swim, but Sarah and Betty is not able to swim in the water. I'm going to climb out on the roof and start waving the flashlight. Someone will see it and come for us. So Jim is telling he's going to climb on the roof with a flashlight, and he's going to signal to the person who is on the onlooker. But who? No one is on the main road and there is no houses within sight of us. That will be just a pinpoint of light. Aren't you scared? Amy is telling already the main road is submerged with water and no one will be on the road. Everyone will be in a difficult situation. Who will come? Aren't you scared? Don't you scared? She is asking. You bet. Are you? Amy, terrified. But I'm glad you're here. We will see it through if we just keep our heads. So, Jim is always with the positivity. He's a pessimistic person. He's thinking that someone will come and help him on the way. So, he's going to sit on the roof and he's searching for the onlooker or the helper on the way. So here we are completed the scene 1 of the drama The Old Man and the Old Man River by Dorothy Deming. In the next class we can move on to scene 2. Thank you, students.